What the heck is up, everyone? It's Jacob here again, and this is just going to be a quick follow-up video to my XYZ Vinci printing firmware upgrade majig video. Anyway, so I first did a review on the printer, then I was talking about the firmware update, and then as I released the video, I got lots of feedback on it. I haven't read like all the comments, but anyways, I've read a few, and some of the first comments were suggestions, or if I had any suggestions on settings for the for Repetier host, because they've had problems either communicating with the printer or as far as like a bed alignment and stuff. And there are a few settings that I actually didn't mention in the video because it didn't really fit in as far as upgrading the firmware. I guess it kind of could have fit in as far as getting you up and running, but yeah, a lot of people installed Repetier on their printer and weren't too sure of what is the issue for these problems, and I myself wasn't sure, and I had to go through forever figuring out what exactly to change. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys real quick on the screen here. We'll go ahead and move to the screen recorder, and I'll show you exactly what settings cause the communication error between the printer, as well as what just some quick numbers that we can throw in the Eeprom to get the bed alignment just right. Because as for my printer, the problem that I had was actually the bed would go up just a tad bit too high, and actually when the extruder was moving, as soon as it started moving, it would actually hit the edge of the glass and it wouldn't print. So the bed was a little bit too high. So yeah, we just need to put in some quick little adjustments on the Eeprom, and the bed will go down a little bit, just right enough to where the extruder is at the right height and it goes to the right height. But again, the printer does have 3 stop sensors. Like I said, they're like infrared or something, so you don't have to worry about messing it up. You can play around with these numbers and stuff that I'm about to give you. But yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys what we need to do to fix this problem. Let's take a look on the screen. Alright guys, so here we are in Repetier host. I have my printer connected and everything, and we're good to go. So let's start with the connection issues. So when we hook up our printer, we have a COM port for it. So, I mean, if you're not sure your COM port, again, we could just go real quick to Control Panel, and actually this is Windows 8, so it's going to look a little different. Hold on, let me just go this Control Panel, and then we'll go to Hardware and Sound and Device Manager. So if we go to the Device Manager, of course, we can always just go to the COM ports and see that, okay, it's seen as an Arduino Do, and it's on COM 3. And so when we go to our printer settings, so we're going to go to Config and Printer Settings. Of course, we're going to select whatever COM port our printer's on. Make sure you have the right baud rate. I mean, this is all simple stuff. I'm sure you guys have all done this, you know. I don't think you're that stupid or anything, but, I mean, just check this, you know. Make sure that those are right. And your baud rate can be found on your printer, if you're not sure. This is, I think, the stock baud rate. It works pretty well. It doesn't really matter what the hell you have this set to, as long as it matches your printer. And these are the settings that I have. Now, I'm not sure what the stock settings were, but whatever they are, they do not work with the the XYZ printer, the Vinci. So I think this here is set like to like this, high to low or something. That's the default. So let me show you what happens if we do have this set to this. And a lot of you guys are probably having this problem right here. So we'll connect to it, and it's going to connect, or it might not. So there it goes, it connected. So then when you go to the manual control, you go and you click all your buttons and nothing works. And you're going, what the hell? And then it says down here, all these commands are waiting, 16 commands, and everything you do, there's commands waiting. It doesn't ever actually run, and it's incredibly frustrating. And you'd have to just sit here and keep hitting OK to approve each command to actually run. And you guys can probably hear my printer in the back there running. Anyways, so to get rid of that, we have to go to the printer settings and set it to the Do Native USB port. Just like that, hit OK. And I don't know if it's actually going to work without us. Yeah, we're going to have to actually disconnect and reconnect to the printer. So we'll connect like that. And there we go. And then now, if we hit home, you probably, I don't know if you can hear that. Anyway, it works without the commands, you know, waiting down here. Everything, it just does everything automatically. So that's what you want to do, is just go to the printer settings and set this to reset unconnect. It's just a protocol error. You know, it doesn't communicate right with the actual microcontroller on board with these specific settings. I don't know why, but and then this, if it's not working, just set it to the same thing I have, send emergency command on reconnect. So that should take care of all your communication issues. Now, then there's the bed alignment issues. Like I said, you know, the Z-axis always runs into the extruder, or the extruder bumps into the bed on the Z-axis because it's just a bit too high. Here we have to go to the firmware Eeprom configuration. You can only access this when you're connected to the printer, and these settings are stored on the printer itself, not on your software, not on your computer. So if you connect your computer or your printer to multiple computers, these will not change. You will not have to change this. These are stored on the printer, and it recalls all these settings from the printer itself. That's why it has to be connected to it. So the three settings that we are going to change are right here. So the home positions are what we're going to change, and I think they're all 0 by default, this, and this. So if you just put in for the X home position -20, the Y home position -30, and the Z home position -3, then that should take care of all your alignment issues. And I got these numbers actually just surfing the web online. I'm pretty sure I saw them on a forum or something somewhere when I was trying to look for the numbers. But the only problem I had was actually the Z-axis. So this is probably the only one you're going to have to adjust. And actually, these aren't centered for me because my printer does not print in the center of the bed. So these numbers probably aren't that, you know, accurate. I would play around with the X and the Y numbers. I still use them because I don't normally print anything that takes up the entire bed. But yes, these are not centered. But yeah, or the X and the Y. But the Z, this -3 should take care of all the issues you have as far as the bed hitting the extruder. So that's all you need to do for that. And then again, if it's not printing in the center, just, you know, play around with these two numbers here till it gets centered. And, you know, you're going to have to change the numbers and restart it every time. But it's not that big of a deal. And once you get these numbers perfect, you should be printing like a champ. And that's pretty much all you need to get from, you know, having Repetier installed on your printer and having Repetier host to actually running. Because when you first install it, it doesn't like work perfectly out of the box. You do have those communication issues and those alignment issues. But once you put in those numbers, it actually works pretty good and it works like a champ. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I hope that helped you out. If you guys have any more questions or comments, definitely throw them down below. Hopefully I can help you out because those are the only issues I had, and I would imagine that's probably 99% of your guys' issues too. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and like always, have a good one.